Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today I want to share with you 5 things that you should know before choosing a preschool. My husband and I recently enrolled our son Logan in preschool for the first time, and we had no idea how overwhelming and daunting of a task it was really going to be. So I did a ton of research and I put together a list of the 5 things that I found most important and that also varied the most from preschool to preschool, and I want to share those with you. One of the first things you're going to want to consider when looking at preschools is the price. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Of course you're going to consider the price. But if you're doing so for the first time, you might not be aware at how much that price can vary from school to school. When we started calling, we knew we wanted our son to go part-time 2 days a week, and prices were everywhere from $100 a month to $250 a week. So definitely make those calls because you're just wasting your time if you know you can't afford it off the bat and there's no need to go on to number 2, which is their curriculum or method of learning. Every school is going to be a little bit different. Right now, it's really popular to learn as you play, which is great. But if they tell you that, you want to dig a little bit deeper into it and find out if it's actually kindergarten preparatory or if the kids are just really just playing in a room with toys. Because some of them are like that, where it's more of a daycare setting as opposed to kindergarten prep, and it just kind of depends on what you personally want. The other hand, they have some preschools that are more structured to where kids are actually sitting at a desk for a certain amount of time each day working on letters or numbers. And you know your child best, so you probably have an idea at which method will work best for your child. Number 3, you're going to want to take a tour. All preschools are not created equal, and the price is not always a great indication. Some of the more expensive schools that we looked at were really not that impressive. They weren't very inviting, the security wasn't great, the play areas weren't great, and then some of the really inexpensive ones were fabulous. So definitely take a tour. If you're able to, go during school hours so you can see how the teachers interact with the kids. Are they out of control? Or is the teacher yelling across the room? What's the overall feel that you're getting of the atmosphere of the classroom? Other things you want to look for on that tour is there an outdoor play area? Is there an indoor play area for if the weather is not great? Number 5 is safety. There are 3 things to consider when we're talking about safety of a preschool. First of all, you want to look at the structure of the building. Is anybody able to go in and out? What are the requirements of picking up a child? You know, is there a password that you need or a list that they have to be on to pick up your child? And who is coming into the preschool? Are parents allowed to come in whenever they want? Are they allowed to volunteer? Just have an idea of who is interacting with your children. And the second part of safety you want to check into is the training of the teachers. Depending on the state that you live in, sometimes only one person in the building is required to be trained in CPR and first aid. Now, a lot of preschools step up from that, and they'll have one teacher per classroom, or some even train every employee in safety and CPR and first aid. And I think that that's really great. The last part of safety that you want to make sure you talk about is the drills. What kind of drills are they doing with your children and how often? Now, the state is probably going to require at least fire drills and possibly a couple other type of drills depending on where you live. But there are a couple other drills to consider. And I hate to even talk about this, but unfortunately, in the world that we live in today, it is something to think about, and that's lockdown drills. Out of all of the preschools that I checked at, only one offered lockdown drills. They did explain in great detail the plan that they execute and that they make it really fun and not something scary for the kids, but there is that practice and that training there just in case, God forbid, they would need to execute a lockdown plan. And as a mom, that at first kind of threw me off guard that they're talking about lockdown drills with 3-year-olds. But then after the fact, I'm really thankful that we found a preschool where they do execute that and they do have a plan just in case. So those are the 5 things that I think you should know before you choose a preschool. I hope you found this helpful. If there are some other things that I missed and that you think were really important, make sure you comment down below and let me know. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.